Good morning, everyone. Regina here. I am on vacation this week, and my husband and I are at our vacation condo in St. Pete, Florida. So I'm filming on location, I should say. Yesterday I filmed a video and it didn't come out well, so I think of deleting that and just refilming it again. I was trying to get views from outside, but when I looked back at it, there was just so much sun and direct light. So now I thought I would just try again, and hopefully this one comes out well. So, what did I talk about yesterday? I wanted to start a series that speaks about, a problem that I see in spending behaviors. Now, there are spending personalities, is what I like to call them, and how people spend their money. And maybe you may recognize yourself in one. If you're not saving money for your retirement, you might recognize yourself in one or more of these. And you can do things to change it and change the way you are spending your money so that you could be more like millionaires next door who spend and are very considerate in how they're spending so that they prioritize savings over spending. So there's an alarming statistic out there. Social Security has that 50% of retirees rely 100% solely on Social Security for their retirement income. That's insane. I can't imagine living on what is the median Social Security monthly payment. I think it's somewhere between $1,800 and $1,900 a month. And so $1,800 to $1,900 a month doesn't mean that people were earning so little during the course of their lifetime. It's actually a pretty decent amount that they were earning to get that median Social Security income. But it's not a question of income that was causing them not to save money. It is a question of spending, because if you're not saving for your retirement, that means your money is going and leaking out of your wallet another way, or just being drained out of your wallet. So this first spending behavior that I want to cover is the person that uses payment plan and installment plans to fund their lifestyle, fund the lifestyle that they want to live. So they're living well above their means because of payment plans. Like, it is a well-known fact that when people use credit cards over cash, they tend to spend a lot more money. The same thing happens with payment plans. I think people confuse the ability to be able to handle a payment, or at least on paper look like they can handle a payment, with their ability to be able to afford something. And that is not always the case. And the other thing that happens with payment plans is people tend to spend a lot more than they would have otherwise. So let's think of something like a car payment. People might spend to the upper limit of their budget of what they see. They look at the payment plan and they say, oh, I can afford that monthly payment, let's go do it. And so someone making $70,000 a year could end up getting a $70,000 car, when truly someone making $70,000 a year should not be spending that much money on a car. They should, the most car they should be buying is something closer to around 20 to 30 when it should have all cost on a car. But no, they're spending quite a bit more, or they're extending out their payments so that they're stuck in this constant payment cycle. Once the car is paid off, they have to start a new installment plan, and sometimes because it's a depreciating asset, they end up owing more money on the car than the car is worth by the time it comes to the end of the term of the loan. And so near the end of the term, or somewhere in the middle of the term, the car becomes less value than the payment plan is when you consider the rest of the payments that are still due. And they don't just do this on cars. They do this with homes. They might buy to the upper limit of what they could afford in a home, or at least on the payment plan wise again. They do this with luxury goods on installment items. They do this with electronics, and they're even doing it now with vacations, flights. They've always done it with furniture, but furniture, some people do use payment plans responsibly, and they may do 0%, financing on a payment plan for furniture. But what happens is so much of the salary of someone who lives this way is stuck and allocated to payments every month. So they take their ability to be able to save and invest away from themselves because so much of their income is spoken for. They're living in their present, paying for their past, and the moment that one payment is done, oh, there's little bugs out here, then the next payment comes along and they just cycle and just roll it into the next payment, so that once one stops, another one begins. And so they're in this constant cycle of having payments. and so much of their salary is gone to payments. So now what ends up happening is they're so overwhelmed. Well, initially it may start out small and they can afford the payment. They might even be able to afford the installment plan, but they're now living up to this lifestyle that they truly cannot afford to maintain. Sometimes they are crushed down by this debt that they dream of getting out of it and going into bankruptcy. Sometimes it becomes they're one hiccup away financially, if they lost their job or something, from their lives crumbling like beneath them. And so you are not saving for your retirement. You should not be doing payment plans. If you are not investing and if you do not have an emergency funds, then stop the payment plans. This is one thing that you could do. Millionaires Next Door, we tend to save first, buy second. And we tend to use things up. While we're using them up, we tend to then save for the next one. So for instance, I'm filming right now with an iPhone 14. I bought this phone outright. While when it comes to, and I'm gonna use it up. And when it comes to me purchasing the next phone, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. When it comes to people who are living this payment plan, installment plan cycle, they don't do that. They continue to see the latest gadget, want the latest gadget, and roll over their payments, and they continue on the cycle of payments. They're never saving first, spending later. They're always spending first, and their past is being paid for by their present and their future. So it's a sad situation to be in, and this is why you have people who are not saving enough in their retirement. It isn't a question of income, because there are people who are earning $100,000 a year. That $100,000 a year is in pretty much all the states you can survive on that. Granted, if you have you might have other spending behaviors that makes it seem more difficult, that it's an impossible feat. But I'll cover more personality spending behaviors that I think exist out there in the next video, so I can get away from these bugs out here. But at least hopefully you saw some beautiful views and you are enjoying this aspect. If you do recognize yourself in any of these behaviors, think about ways you can cut back. Think about ways that you could break the cycle of the payment plans, the installment plans. If you see something you want, if you don't have the cash in your wallet, put a pause on the purchase and start to save up for it outside for yourself. You'll find that as it comes out that you actually don't even, you're gonna walk away and may not even recognize that you want the purchase. Now, I'm all for living a great life, and I want that for you as well. But I really do believe that what you want shouldn't be, your life shouldn't be financed by payments and installments. You shouldn't be boggled down, and you shouldn't be having to stress so much about money, and so much of your paycheck is being gone that you don't have enough to save. That's not a life. That is such a stressful way to live. Anyway, this is Regina from Simply Fundamental. I hope that you are having a beautiful morning and that you enjoy these views. Hit like up and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. And I'll cover another personality spending trait as well in that next video. Take care. Bye. Oh, the clicker never seems to work. Okay. The views. See you on the next one. Bye.